Hi, everyone. So, I wanted to share a spiritual tool that has been hugely instrumental in my healing over the years. And it's a really easy one to integrate into a spiritual practice. It's called the Ho'oponopono, and it's this ancient Hawaiian prayer for forgiveness. I've seen it brought through in so many readings for people, spirit suggesting to the clients who are struggling with forgiving someone or something. Okay, they find themselves in an energetic spin cycle with people that they either had a falling out with or they are in a current conflict with. Okay, sometimes, even when we're not in direct contact with someone, their actions and energy can still have a very negative impact on our lives. When this happens, we may need to find a way to find closure without having direct conversations. Okay, sometimes we can, sometimes we can't, especially in the case when that someone has passed away. So, this is when the prayer, the Ho'oponopono, comes into play as a very powerful tool to use. Forgiveness is something that so many people struggle with, okay? Whether it's forgiving someone else or forgiving ourselves. Sometimes we are hardest on ourselves. And without it, we can feel a lot of shame, blame, anger, unsettledness, and guilt. And that tends to bring us out of balance with our true nature, which is love. And so, an aha moment that I had years ago when Spirit shared with me that forgiveness is not about pardoning. Okay. It's not necessarily about forgiving the person, what they did, what they said, the act that felt unjust. It's not about pardoning. It's not even about the other person. It's about letting go of our own grievances and letting go of guilt, especially the unconscious guilt that we carry in our minds and hearts. And that naturally tends to bring us down. It lowers our vibration and it dims our light. We often link closure and forgiveness together, convincing ourselves that in order to give or receive forgiveness, we also have to have direct closure with the person that we've had that conflict with. There are instances, however, when getting closure with someone physically is either not possible, again, like I said, that person has passed on, or it's just not in our highest and best good. Being in relationship and in direct contact is very toxic. And so sometimes instead of helping us to get back in alignment and raise our vibration, having that direct conversation or trying to resolve things physically can actually work against us. It can bring us down and take us further away from harmony within ourselves. And so this is where the Ho'oponopono practice comes in. It's a way to bring things back into balance, back into alignment, okay? And for us to make things right. It helps us to restore our sense of self-love, inner peace, and it allows us to move forward with that compassion and forgiveness. And so the prayer simply is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And when we repeat it over and over, it acts as a mantra. It builds this energy and it helps us to cleanse our energy field and our bodies of the low vibrating energy of guilt, of victimhood, shame, ill will, or any other negative thoughts. And so while it's a really simple practice, the different aspects of it allow us to take accountability when we need to. It allows us to find gratitude, seeing the gift that that experience or that person has brought into our life and has taught us. And it allows us to extend our love and forgiveness first to ourselves and then to others. We can use this prayer in a meditation. What I like to do is I like to visualize that person before me and I hook them up to source. I hook myself up to source. I imagine a golden thread of light from my crown moving to this golden sun above me. The same for them. I put an energetic white rose in between us, and that acts as a sponge. It absorbs any of the negative or fear-based energy. And then I repeat the Ho'oponopono prayer. And so doing this on a soul level, it helps us to break karma between us, okay? so that that energy no longer can bring us down. It no longer affects us. And so when you recite it over and over, you are literally calling your energy back. You're calling your power back. You're reclaiming seniority over your light from that person and that situation. And so I went through an experience with this personally a couple years ago. I had a falling out with someone who was near and dear to me. And there was nothing I could do other than meet that person in prayer, in meditation, send them love. I use the Ho'oponopono every time that situation and that person came to mind. And I silently blessed them. I sent them love. I called my energy back from it. And fast forward a couple of years after that, they reached out to me when that person said they would never talk to me again. And we had a beautiful healing. And I really attribute that turnaround by using this prayer. And so if you're struggling with forgiving someone or even forgiving yourself, I hope that this spiritual practice is helpful for you. Remember, forgiveness and resolution do not always need to be found physically or directly with those in our lives, okay? Especially when your loved one has passed on. We can find it on an energetic level. And that will allow us to free ourselves of shame, of guilt, of regrets, of anger, of blame, and resentments. Okay. So the best way to do it is by aligning with the frequency of love, aligning with light, which is our true, authentic nature. This is just one more tool for your toolbox, but it's powerful. And I would encourage you to really put it to the test if this resonates at all. As always, I am wishing you brightest blessings and all love.